national and international journals, and he got 6 years of teaching experience. And in addition to that, he qualified UGC CSIR NET with the JRF fellowship and secured 42nd rank in the year 2010. And also he secured 77th rank in the year 2019. On behalf of our college, I thank him for accepting our invitation to share his knowledge on this national level online workshop on enriching problem solving skills in pure and applied mathematics. With these few words, I invite Dr. B. Prakash sir to deliver his lecture. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam. So, good evening to all. I am very happy to be a part of this lecture series. So, I thank the organizers and Merco Engineering College. Let's start the session. Um, First, we are going to see what is topology, right? So, in a topology, we are going to study the properties of a shape that don't change under the deformation, such as stretching, twisting, crumpling, and bending. That is, without closing holes and opening holes, tearing, gluing, or passing through itself. That means, just look at the diagram in the first row. Here, the one end is there is a teacup, another end there is a donut. So we are going to deform the teacup into the donut, right? With the deformation rule, right? So we follow the deformation rule. Therefore, these two different shapes have the same properties. That properties is called topological properties, right? So we are going to study the topological properties in topology, right? So another way of defining topology is it is a generalization of a metric space. It is a generalization of a metric space. So I am going to explain this second one after defining the topology. First, we are going to see the definition of topology. So here, okay. So topology is a collection of subsets of X having the following properties, right? So it's a collection, it's a subset of power set of X having the certain condition. The first one is it must contain empty set and the full set, right? Second one, it must be closed under the arbitrary union, right? The third condition is it must be closed under the finite intersection, that is intersection of I is equal to 1 to n ui belongs to tau for each ui belongs to tau, right? If the subcollection of power set of X satisfying these three conditions, then the tau is called topology, right? So here the elements of tau is called open set, right? Elements of tau is called open set and its complement is called closed set. Okay, this is the definition of topology. Now I'm going to explain about the metric spaces, right? Because we have a statement that is topology is a generalization of metric spaces, right? So I have to explain this one. So we know that M comma D is said to be a metric space if the D from M cross M2 are satisfying the certain condition. The conditions are D of x comma y is greater than or equal to 0 and D of x comma y is equal to 0 if and only if x is equal to y, and d of x comma y is equal to d of y comma x. D of x comma y is less than or equal to d of x comma z plus d of z comma y. If d is satisfying these all the conditions, then m comma d is said to be a metric space. So using this distance concept d, we will define an open ball, right? Sorry, 1 minute. So open ball b of x comma r is a set of all y belongs to m such that d of x comma y is less than r, right? So from this d we will define a open ball, right? And this from this open ball we will define a open set, right? U is said to be a open set if for every x belongs to u there exists a open ball such that p of x comma r is a subset of u. So this is the open set definition, and we will study the properties of open set. That is, in a metric space, every in a metric space, every metric space, empty set and the whole set will be an open set, right? And arbitrary union of open set is again open, and finite intersection of open set is again open, right? These are all the properties of the open set. Okay, now just to compare this properties to the topology. So topology also have the same uh, condition, right? So from the metric space we have a collection of open set. That collection satisfies the topology condition. Therefore this tau, that is the collection of open set, is a topology, right? Okay, so every metric space is a topological space. So topological space is a generalization of a metric space, right? And one more thing, uh, this type of topology is called metrizable topology, because here every open set is come from the distance concept, right? Using the distance concept, so this type of topology is called metrizable topology, right? Okay, now we will see the example for the finite set topology, right? So here we take x is equal to the three elements a b c, right? Just look at that. Tau is equal to empty set singleton a, singleton b, and set a b and x. It is a topology because here the first condition is, as per first condition, empty set and x is in tau, right? Second and third condition, that means we want to check that if whether it is closed under the arbitrary union and finite intersection. Here only there are three non-trivial sets are there, so we can easily check the union and intersection property. That is singleton a union singleton b, which is equal to ab is an element of tau, right? So similarly we can check all possible unions. So every union of the elements of tau is again in tau. We can easily check that one. So tau is a topology on X. This is an example for a topology on a 3-point set. And the next one is an example for not a topology, because just look at that second and the third set. A, B and AC. If you take the intersection for these two sets, the resultant value is singleton A, but singleton A is not a member of tau, right? So it is not closed under the finite intersection. That is, third property is not satisfied by this collection. So this collection is not a topology. Okay, is an example for not a topology. Sometimes we will express this topology in diagrammatic method, right? That means here there are 3 points are there, so we are taking the points as a vertex A, B, C, right? So if I am going to circle A, if singleton A is open, right? So I am going to represent the first example in diagram. Here singleton A is open, so I am going to circle the A. Here singleton B is open, so I am going to circle B. And here AB is open, so I am going to circle A and B, right? And the whole set is open, so here empty means is nothing, so there is no way to represent that one. So trivially you want to understand that pi is an element. Okay, this is a way of representing the topology in diagram, right? Okay, similarly in a TRB Polytechnic examination, there is a one question is asked related to this one. They will draw the 4 diagram and they asked that which one is the represents a topology, right? That's why I'm explaining this one, right? Now just see that here the 3 point set is there. Now can you tell that whether it is a topology or not? So can you, from the diagram, can you understand the elements of tau? Tau is, what are the elements of tau here? Can I tell that? Yes.
Singleton B.
Singleton
B.
B. Okay.
Whole set X.
Whole set X and the
Empty.
empty set is trivial. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Right. So is it a topology or not?
No, sir.
No, because
It is not
Union
because
A,
union
B.
is not arbitrary in an open set.
very good. Singleton A union singleton B, that is equal to AB, but here AB is not an element, right? So
Yes,
if you take one more circle, then it will be a topology, right?
topology. Yes.
Thank you. Now, so we are going to see we have a two topology, tau 1 and tau 2. We know that we want to create a one more topology using this one. You know that very familiar way, that is union intersection, right? So we want to check that which one is a topology. So anyone can guess that which one is a topology and which one is not?
Tau 1 intersection tau 2 is a topology. Tau 1 union tau 2 need not be a topology.
Yes, I can clear. I can hear you. So you say that intersection is a topology, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Intersection is a topology. Union need not be a topology.
Very good. Union need not be a topology. So let me give an example for the first one is not a need not be a topology, right?
Yes, sir. Tau 1 can be written as, for example, MT, comma X, comma singleton A. The 3 element set X equal to A, comma B, comma C. We can take. Tau 2 equal to MT, comma singleton B, comma X. Now union is not a topology.
So union is not topology. Already we seen that one, right? Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
So it is not a topology. So union of two topology need not be a topology. So now what about the intersection? Intersection is a topology, right? I
Yes,
think
sir.
it is easy to do, right? Shall we see the proof or we can skip that one? So what do you expect?
We can skip, sir.
See, right, okay. So now pi and x is an element of tau 1 because tau 1 is a topology. Pi and x is also an element of tau 2 because both are topology, right? So now in their intersection, pi and x must be a member, right? So the first condition is satisfied. Second, we want to check that whether arbitrary union of open set is belongs to tau 1 intersection tau 2 or not. Okay, we have to check this one. So now we have open set u alpha belongs to tau 1 intersection tau 2, and we have to bring this result from this one, right? So for all alpha, that implies that u alpha is belongs to the both topology. That means u alpha belongs to tau 1 and u alpha belongs to tau 2, right? For all alpha, now tau 1 is a topology, therefore it is closed under arbitrary union. Therefore union of u alpha over alpha is belongs to tau 1. Similarly tau 2 is also a topology, so union of u alpha over alpha belongs to tau 2, right? So in tau 1 and tau 2, union of u alpha is a common element, therefore union of u alpha is belongs to tau 1 intersection tau 2. So similarly we can show that the finite intersection of open set is open, right? Okay, this way we can show that intersection of two topology is again a topology, right? Next, this one is a gate question. Before going to read this question, first we want to know the concept of closure of the set in a topology. So closure of the set A is nothing but intersection of collection of all closed set such that it contains A. Okay, so closure of A is equal to intersection of all closed set that contains A, right? So you want to find out the closure of A. That means you want to collect all the closed sets containing A and you want to take a intersection, right? So the intersection is a bar. Okay, so this is a definition of A bar. So with this basic knowledge, we will solve this problem. Okay, so just read the question. Consider the following topologies on a set R of all real numbers. So we are working in on the real line. T1 is a topology having an element having an open set U such that U must not contain 0, right? Or that U must be equal to R. The second topology T2 contains U such that U must contains 0 or that U is equal to empty. Okay, there are two topologies are there. So we are going to generate a new topology from the T1 and the T2 by taking intersection, right? So now we are going to working on the topology T3, right? So now before going to solve this one, first we want to find out the elements of T3. Okay, now we know that T1 and T2 are topology, therefore it contains empty set and X. So in their intersection also we have empty set and the X, right? Now we want to find out the non-trivial subset of R. right? Which is belongs to both T1 and T2, right? So if you take a non-trivial subset of R, it may be of two type, right? One is either it must contain 0 or it must not contain 0, right? Suppose it contains 0, then it will not. Just look at that. We are taking the proper subset, so we want to look out only the first type. Okay, here 0 belongs to U, but in T1 our open set must not contain 0. Okay, so that means this U is not belongs to T1, correct? So in the other case, 0 does not belongs to U implies what we got, that is this U does not belongs to T2, right? So there are two possibilities, either 0 belongs to U or 0 does not belongs to U. So if 0 belongs to U now, that U is not in T1. If 0 does not belongs to U now, that U does not belongs to T2. So on the final, U does not belongs to T1 intersection T2, right? Because you have the totally two possibilities. On two possibilities, it missing on either any one of the topology, right? Therefore, U does not belongs to T1 intersection T2. That means it has no proper subset. So it has only empty set and a whole set, right? Okay. Now we are going to find out the closure of the set singleton 1. Closure of the singleton 1. That means we want to take an intersection for all closed sets which contains singleton 1, right? But here there are only two open sets are there. Trivially, the open sets which contains singleton 1 is the whole set X. Sorry, here the whole set X is nothing but R. Sorry. Okay. So here our collection have only one set, that is R. Okay. So intersection of the singleton is again R. So the closure of singleton 1 is equal to R. So the answer is C, right? Okay. So here I want to tell about the name of this topology, because this topology contains only the empty set and the whole set. So this type of topology have a name, that is indiscrete topology, right? So I'm going to tell about something, that is usually so topology is a subcollection of power set of X, right? So it's a, and it must contain, the topology must contain empty set and the whole set. So usually topology lies between the two collections. One is a two empty and X, and the another end is a power set of X, right? So topology lies between these two. Suppose this topology is equal to the left to one, then it is called a indiscrete topology. Suppose this tau is equal to the power set of X, then it is called a discrete topology. It is called a discrete topology, right? Suppose if you find two topologies such that tau1 subset of tau2 subset of power set of X, that is both the topology lies on the same chain, right? Then we can compare the two topologies, right? Okay, so here we are going to call the tau2 is finer than tau1, right? If tau1 is subset of tau2, then we call tau2 as a finer than tau1, and tau1 is called coarser than tau 2, right? This is a comparison of two topologies. It will be very useful. Okay. So this is a comparison of topology. So let's see the next one. So now we are going to see the continuous function definition, right?
Sir, could you make your slides little bigger, sir? The fonts is not properly visible actually.
Sorry?
Sir, could you make your
What?
slides little bigger because the fonts are not properly visible to me. I'm sorry.
Properly not visible, my text, okay?
Yeah,
So I want to
no,
make it.
no, not your slides actually. Slides. Your text is properly visible. Your slides.
Sorry, I can't. You want to tell that I my
Slides. Your slides presentation should be little bigger because your words they are written in the slides is not visible properly.
not visible. Okay, okay. Now, is it? Is it
Sir,
okay?
I think you just need to zoom a little bit.
No, sir, your blackboard is totally fine, sir. The slides, the presentation, your slides, sir, actually, where you have already written.
Oh, one minute. I want to. I think 1 minute wait. Yeah.
சார் நீங்க பிடிஎஃப் காட்டுறீங்களா சார்? பிடிஎஃப்னா ரொம்ப சின்னதா இருக்கு, எழுத்து பார்க்கறது சிரமமா இருக்கு சார்.
PDF file.
பிடிஎஃப்ல நீங்க எழுதுறீங்களா சார்?
ஸ்லைடு போட்டிருக்கீங்களா சார்?
So PDF file என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்?
ரொம்ப
பிடிஎஃப்ல
சின்னதா
நீங்க
தெரியுது
எழுதுறது
சார்.
ரொம்ப சின்னதா இருக்கு சார். அந்த நீங்க கொஸ்டின் தான் நீங்க ரெடி பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா சார்? அதுல இருக்க ஃபாண்ட் ரொம்ப குட்டியா இருக்கு, பார்க்கறதுக்கு சிரமமா இருக்கு. அதான் சார். இதெல்லாம் நீங்க அந்த ரொம்ப சின்னதா இருக்கு சார். ஆமா, கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வந்தது அந்த ஃபாண்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப சின்னதா இருக்கு.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yes, that's true. Thank you.
Okay வா? Right?
நல்லா இருக்கு. கரெக்ட்டா இருக்குது.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, now we are going to see the definition of continuous function, right? So something is wrong. Okay, now we are going to see the definition of continuous function. F from x to y is said to be continuous, right? If for every open set V in y, F inverse of V must be an open set, right? That means inverse image of open set is open, right? So if is continuous if and only if inverse image of open set is open. For every open set in codomain, its inverse image must be an open set in the domain, right? This is a continuous function definition, right? From x to x, right? With the domain have a topology tau 1, codomain have a topology tau 2, right? And if tau 1 is contains tau 2, right? And the f of x is equal to x, then what can you say about this one, whether it is continuous or not? So just look at that. So you want to check that whether it is continuous or not. So now we are going to take an open set in the codomain, that is B belongs to tau 2, right? and we want to take an inverse image, that is f inverse of v, but it is an identity function. Therefore, f inverse of v is again v, right? Just look at that. Already we told that v is belongs to tau 2, right? But tau 2 is contained in tau 1. That implies this v, that is the f inverse of v is belongs to tau 1, right? That means in the codomain, its inverse image is open in domain. That is, inverse image of open set is open. Therefore, f is continuous, right? So if just look at that, if tau 1 contains tau 2, then f is continuous, right? Okay, now I'm going to take a function f from x to y, right? F is of any function, right? And if you want to make it as a continuous function, right, what will be the topology under domain, right? So you may make any function into the continuous function, right? Okay, you can make any function into the continuous function by taking the topology of the domain as is equal to dash. So we know that we want to show that inverse image of open set is open, right? So we are going to take a open set in the codomain, right? And we want to take a inverse. That inverse must be a open set in domain, right? So continuous function is totally depend upon this one, right? So I'm going to take the tau 1, that is tau x as a power set of x. That is a discrete topology. I'm going to take a discrete topology. So what will happen? So in a discrete topology, every set is an open set. Discrete topology, just look at that, yeah, tau x is equal to power set of x, right? That means every set is open set, right? So f inverse of v is a subset of x, then it is an open set. So inverse image of open set is open, therefore f is continuous. So we may make every function into continuous by taking the topology of domain as discrete topology, right? Okay, so these are all the examples on the continuous functions, right? So next one, so definition of homeomorphism, right? Here we are going to take two topological spaces x and y, and a function f from x to y must be a bijective function, and f must be a continuous function, and f inverse also must be a continuous function. Then f is called homeomorphism, right? So this is a definition of homeomorphism, right? Now we are going to see the NVHM question. That is, so we are going to take a x as a 3-element set, right? So for each of the following numbers n, here they are giving the numbers, right? So you want to determine the number of distinct homeomorphism classes of topologies on X with exactly n open subsets, right? That means you want to count the number of topologies which have the 3 elements, non-homeomorphic, right? Okay. Right. So we have to find the number of topologies having 3 elements.
Papa.
So 3, 4, 5, 7.
Go.
So here our set has 3 elements A, B, C.
Copy क्या हो रहा है पापा? Action.
Now
Hop. 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 Hop.
we have to
Hop.
find out.
Hop.
We have to find out topology having the 3 elements, right? So we know that to be a topology, it must contains at least 2 elements. So pi and x. So, but totally we have 3 elements. Therefore, we need we need to add one more element. So singleton A, right? So this is a one counting. For the next counting, if we take this one, there is a problem is there because these two are homeomorphic, right? Just look at that. A, B, C. A, B, C. Here in the domain, A is an open set. Here, B is an open set. Now I am going to define a map. A goes to B, B goes to A, C goes to C, right? Now it is a bijective map, and just look at that. F is continuous. That is inverse image of open set is open. Here we have only one open set to check. So easily we can check that inverse image of open set is open. So what about the inverse? So here also inverse image of open set is open. So these two spaces are homeomorphically same. So it will not add to the counting, right? So we need a different topology. So what about that one? What about the third element?
We can take A, B, and C, and also
The set?
singleton C. This singleton C because the intersections would belong X intersection. No, that's good. That
We need only
will
3
work.
elements, right?
Yeah.
So actually I miss my headphone. I can't hear your voice clearly. That is the problem. Sorry. So here this is a 3 element topology. So pi x, the set AB. Okay. These are the only 2 possibilities. Can you say any other possibilities? Having 3 elements. Any other possibilities are there? Because beyond the pi and x, we want to add only one set, right? These are all the total possibilities, right? Either a singleton set or a 2 element set. Okay, so no other possibilities are there. So the answer for the first one is 2, right? So for the second one,
Hello. Hello.
obviously we need pi and x. So we need a 2. We need to add a 2 more set. So what are that one? Singleton A.
And A comma B we can take.
Yeah, very good, right? A comma B, right? Because singleton A, singleton B is not possible. Already we seen that one, right? Okay. So what are the other possibilities? Singleton A. Obviously, there are 2 possible collections. One is a singleton set. Another one is a 2 element set. But
So
just look at that.
C.
Very good, right? Right. So
B comma C.
right. B comma C. Because here this one is contained in this one, right? So we want to give a new variety, that means disjoint sets, right? A, B, C is a disjoint set. So it will not be a homeomorphic, right? So the counting is 2. So there is no other possibilities for the 4 elements topology. So here the answer is 2. Now the 5 elements. here. So phi x.
Why
So we need a move 3 more elements. What are that one? Singleton A,
singleton B, and then A comma B we can take.
so A comma B, because union must be in there, right? So A B. So this is a one possible. So another phi x. Yeah.
A, B, B, C,
A B
singleton.
and then A B and AC we can take. Singleton A, A B,
Singleton A and A B,
AC we can take. Oh sorry.
AC.
Yes, we can take.
Right. So these are all the total possibilities. So 5 elements of the counting is 2. So what about the 7 element? First we want to know about the discrete topology on the 3-point set, that is power set of X having the number of elements 8. Okay, but we need to form a topology with the 7 elements. That means we need to leave the only 1 elements. It's not possible, because if you need if you avoid the 1 elements, then it will, if suppose if it is a singleton set, then intersection will not be hold. If it is a 2-point set, then it is union will not be hold, right? Can you understand that one? If you want to eliminate 1 element,
Yes, sir.
eliminate
Yes, sir.
1 element from this one. If you eliminate singleton A, then intersection property will not hold, right? If you eliminate the 2 element set, union will not be hold, right? So therefore there is no possible topology having 7 elements. So the answer is 0. So the answer for the NBH question is 2220, right?
क्या दिया तुमको बोले थे कि रूटीन लिखने के लिए सिलेबस लिखी थी कागज में, तो काय नहीं लिखती हो, तुम थे तर हो.
So these are the actually there are 29 topologies on 3 elements, right? But up to homeomorphism, there are only 9 topologies are there. Here I give the all possible topologies, right? Okay, now we go to the example for infinite set topology. It's a very interesting one. In all the gate questions, they include this type of topology, right? Actually in a gate question they are asking minimum 3 questions from the topology, right? One is very elementary, like this one, that is co-finite, co-complement, or finite set topology, like that one, right? One from compactness and connectedness, and remaining one from the advanced level, that means continuous and metrizable, like that one. Okay, minimum 3 questions, right? Okay, now come to the problem, that is now we are going to see the finite complement topology, right? So here I have a problem in the
Hello, sir.
okay, now I am going to explain about the finite complement topology, right? Let me so finite complement topology or co-finite topology, right? Or co-finite topology, that is it is denoted by tau f, is a collection of all subsets of X such that its complement either finite or is equal to X. Okay. So this collection is a topology, and this topology is called a co-finite topology or finite complement topology. Now we are going to say show that it satisfies the topological conditions, right? So first we want to show that pi is an element of tau. So we want to take a complement, right? So its complement is X. So it is of the second type. Therefore, pi belongs to tau f. Okay. Then we want to show that X belongs to tau f. So we want to take a complement, right? Complement is empty. Empty is a finite set, so it is of the first category. So X is belongs to tau f. So first condition is satisfied. Second one, we have to take a arbitrary collection from tau f. U alpha belongs to tau f, where alpha is a belongs to I. Now you have to show that union of U alpha over alpha is belongs to tau f, right? This is our claim. For this one, you want to take a complement, and its complement is either of the first type or second type. Once you show that, you can attain this one, right? So now I'm going to take a complement. So you know the De Morgan's law. So I'm going to distribute the complement. So intersection of U alpha complement, right? Now I'm dividing this into the two parts. One is suppose all the U alphas. Suppose all the U alpha complement equal to X, because you know that here we take U alpha belongs to tau f, right? Therefore, U alpha complement is either, just look at that, either finite or X, right? So all the U alpha complement have two possibilities. Suppose all the U alpha complement is equal to X, then what will be the answer? Intersection of U alpha complement is again X. Suppose any one of U alpha complement, I'm going to take this as a U alpha dash complement, is not equal to X, means that is finite, right? That is, it is not a second category, means it is a first category, that is it is finite. U alpha dash complement is finite, right? Then what will happen? Just look at that. You know that intersection of U alpha complement is a subset of U alpha dash complement, right? Because U alpha dash complement is one of the member of this intersection. Okay, therefore it is a subset of U alpha dash complement, and you know that U alpha dash complement is finite. So this is finite. So subset of a finite set is finite. So in two possibilities, we attain the condition of tau f. Therefore, union of U alpha belongs to tau f. Right? So similarly, we are going to show that finite intersection is closed, right? Finite intersection of open set is closed. So you want to take ui belongs to tau f, where I is equal to 1 to n, and you have to show that intersection of the collection again must be an element of tau f. This is our claim. Okay, now to prove this one, we want to find out its complement, and whether we want to check that whether it is finite or infinite. So I'm going to take a complement for this one. So I'm going to apply the De Morgan's law. Therefore, intersection will be converted into union. Now phi is equal to 1 to n ui complement, right? Now there are two possibilities are there. Suppose any one of this ui complement is equal to x, right? You know that ui belongs to tau f. Therefore, its complement has two possibilities. One is it may be of finite. Another one, it may be of capital X. Suppose any one of the ui complement is equal to x, then its union will be x. Suppose all of ui complement is equal to finite. Okay, here all the collection is have a finite elements, then you know that finite union of finite set is finite. Yes,
F-I-T. Bit. F-I-D. Fit.
okay,
Fit.
so it is a finite union of finite set is finite, therefore this collection is finite in this case, right? In both the cases, this complement satisfies the condition of tau f, therefore intersection of ui where I is equal to 1 to n belongs to tau f, right? So it satisfies all the three conditions, therefore tau f is a topology, and this topology is called cofinite topology, right? So similarly, you are going to give the answer to me, that is which one is topology and which one is not a topology. So you may guess that one. So which one is a topology? Here there are two subcollections are there. One is tau c. Elements of tau c is u such that its complement is either countable or is equal to x. So another collection is tau infinity. It's a collection of u such that its complement is infinite or empty or equal to x, right? So there are two different collections are there. So in which one is a topology and which one is not?
Tau c is a topology.
Tau c is a topology.
Tau c is a topology. It is a co-countable topology. Co-countable topology.
Tau c is a topology. Tau infinity. What about the tau infinity? Okay, we will see that. So tau c is a topology, and this topology is called co-countable topology or countable complement topology, right? The name of tau c is co-countable topology or countable complement topology, right? This is also a gate question, right? So now we are going to prove that tau c is a topology, right? The same way actually. So now tau c is equal to set of all u subset of x such that its complement is either countable or equal to x, right? Okay, now first we have to show that pi is an element of tau c. That means we want to take a complement and we want to check that what is the answer. Pi complement is equal to x, so it is of the second type, therefore this pi is belongs to tau c type, and I am going to take x. So x complement is equal to empty. Empty is countable, so it is belongs to tau c. So first condition is satisfied. Now we want to check that it is whether it is closed under the countable arbitrary union, right? So I'm going to take a collection of open sets u alpha where alpha belongs to I. We have to check that whether it is closed under union. For this one, I want to take a complement. So the same procedure, that is intersection will become, union will become intersection, right? So there are two possibilities. suppose here just look at that, each u alpha is belongs to tau c. That implies u alpha complement is either countable or x, right? Suppose all u alpha complement is equal to x, then intersection of u alpha complement is also x. Okay, therefore it is of the first type. Okay, now suppose any one, right, another possibility, that is any one of u alpha complement, I'm going to take it as a u alpha dash complement, is not equal to x. That means it is a countable, it is a countable, right? Then what will happen? Intersection of u alpha complement is a subset of u alpha dash complement, because you know that it is a u alpha dash complement is one of the member of this one, right? Therefore this is a subset of u alpha dash complement and it is countable, and you have a result that is subset of a countable set is countable. Therefore this is also countable. So in a second case also we have a positive result. So on finally we accept that union of u alpha over alpha is belongs to tau c. So it is closed under arbitrary union. Next we want to check for the finite intersection, right? So take the finite collection, the third property, that is ui belongs to tau f, where I is equal to 1 to n. Then each ui complement is either countable or equal to x. Now we want to check that it is whether it is closed under finite intersection, that is intersection from I is equal to 1 to n ui is belongs to tau f or tau c. Here we are working on co-countable topology tau c, right? So now to check this one, we want to take a complement, that is in intersection of ui over I is equal to 1 to n the whole complement, which is equal to union of I is equal to 1 to n ui complement, which is equal to, there are two types. Suppose any one of ui complement is equal to x, then its union is equal to x. Suppose no one of ui complement is equal to x, that means all of ui complement is countable, right? This is another case. All of ui complement is countable, then you know that it's a finite union of countable collections, right? Each ui complement is countable, that means each collection is countable. Here the finite union, so finite union of countable set is countable. Actually we have a result that is countable union of countable set is countable, therefore this collection is countable. So we have the positive result. Therefore intersection of ui over I is equal to 1 to n is belongs to tau c. So tau c satisfies all the three conditions, therefore tau c is a topology. So this topology is called co-countable topology, right? Co-countable topology. Last one, that is tau infinity. Here that of all u subset of x such that u complement is either infinite or equal to empty or equal to x. This collection is not a topology actually, right? we can give an example, right? So I'm going to take a space as a R
X equal to R.
here. Yeah. So what is the example actually?
You can take that singleton X belongs to
Singleton.
something. A singleton X belongs to tau. So
Okay, singleton X belongs to tau infinity. Then
their complement is infinite.
yeah, of course,
Take
that's why.
collections and then you.
Yeah. So you are going to take a union or intersection. You are giving only one set. So what about the other one?
Said union.
So oh, okay, I want to take a union, right? Okay, super, very good, right? Okay, so union over X, right? X belongs to R, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, very good, super, nice. So union over X belongs to R. That means it is the answer is, but it is answer is R, but its complement is empty. So it will be belongs to tau infinity, right? So we want.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we
want
can
to.
remove one point.
Yeah. You remove one elements, right? That means we will remove the singleton 0, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. Then the answer is R minus singleton 0, right? So its complement is R minus singleton 0 complement is singleton 0. So it is not of any of the type.
It's
Therefore,
finite.
this is not.
Does not belongs to tau infinity.
Is not an element of tau infinity. So it's not closed under arbitrary union, right? Therefore, it is not a topology, right? Very good, right? Super. Okay, now I'm going to tell about some interesting sequence properties, right? In this topology, we know that in a real analysis, every convergence sequence has a unique limit, right? But here topology, that nice property is broken by these examples, right? First, we are going to see the definition of convergence sequence in topology, right? So xn is a sequence in X, and this xn is said to converge to X if for every neighborhood of X, for every neighborhood of X, that means an open set, right? That means an open set containing X, that is called neighborhood of X, right? So for every neighborhood of X, there exists n naught belongs to n such that xn belongs to U for all n greater than or equal to n naught. This is a convergence sequence definition in topology, right? Xn convergence to X means for every neighborhood of X, there exists n naught belongs to n such that xn belongs to U for all n greater than or equal to n naught. This is a convergence sequence definition, right? Now take cofinite topology R comma so tau f. So sorry, I want to ask one more question about tau f. Okay, we will stop here, and I want to ask one more question. Uh, what about whether it is, when will be it will is equal to a discrete topology? X comma tau f. Okay, so it will be a discrete topology when
X is finite.
X is finite, right? X is finite. So when X is finite, the tau f will be a discrete topology. So tau c will be discrete topology when
X is countable.
X is countable, right? Okay. So when you take a tau c, it's better to take a uncountable set, right? When you take a tau f, it is better to take a infinite set. Okay. Now we are going to analyze the convergence property of the sequence in tau f, right? So I'm going to take a sequence xn in R and x belongs to R, right? So I'm going to take any neighborhood of x, right? Neighborhood means it is an open set that is belongs to tau f. Belongs to tau f means its complement is finite, right? Its complement is finite. That means u complement is equal to the a1, a2, etc. an, right? So I'm going to collect the elements in u complement which are belongs to the sequence, right? So xi, xj, xk, which is belongs to u complement. Here u complement is finite, therefore this collection also finite. So I'm going to I can take a largest suffix, right? So largest n naught such that x n naught belongs to u complement. Okay, that implies x n is does not belongs to u complement for all n greater than n naught. Okay, that implies xn does not belongs to u complement for all n greater than n naught. Okay, that implies xn belongs to u, right? Xn does not belongs to u complement means xn must belongs to u, right? For all n greater than n naught. So what you got, for every neighborhood of x, there exists an n naught such that xn belongs to u for all n greater than n naught. That means xn convergence to x, right? So for every sequence in R, for every element x, xn convergence to x. That means every sequence convergence to every element of R, right? That means sequence has a infinite limits. In a real analysis, we studied that each convergent sequence has a unique limit, right? But here we have a infinite limits for the convergent sequence, right? Okay. So this is a very nice property. Next one. What about in the co-countable topology? So we are going to take R comma tau c. So I'm going to take a sequence such that xn is distinct from x. Okay, the condition xn is distinct from x. Now I'm going to show that this xn is not convergence to any element, right? So take x belongs to R and a neighborhood of x u, that means which is belongs to tau c. That means u complement is countable, right? Okay, sorry. So this is a property of the neighborhood of x. So now I want to show that does not convergence. So I want to construct the open set. So I'm going to construct an open set U is equal to R minus xn. R minus xn. Its complement is xn, that is countable. Therefore, this U is belongs to tau c, right? So I have a neighborhood of x. It contains x, right? Because just look at that, xn is not equal to x. Okay. So we are eliminating only the xn, not x. So therefore it contains x. Therefore U is a neighborhood of x. And one more thing, no xn is does not belongs to U for all n, right? Xn is because U does not contain any of the elements of the sequence, right? That is xn does not belongs to U for all n. So I have a neighborhood in which xn is does not belongs to U for all n. Therefore, xn is not convergence to x. So here I am taking x as arbitrary. Therefore, every sequence is not convergent, right? Every sequence is not convergent. It is the condition that
only constant sequences convergence.
Yeah, of course, very good, right? Nice catching. Xn not equal to x. Here we are assuming that this xn not equal to x. Suppose what will happen? Suppose xn is equal to x for all x means then it is convergent sequence, right? Convergence to x, right? So in a co-countable topology, the only convergent sequences are eventually constant sequence. Eventually constant sequence. That means either it must be a constant sequence or up to some finite stage it may be of any other element, right? After the finite stage, after the finite stage it will be a constant sequence. This is called eventually constant, right? So only these two cases the sequence will be convergence to the constant value x, right? So all the remaining sequences are not convergent. Okay, so with this knowledge we will solve the gate question. So, sorry. Okay, just look at that. Here they are giving the topology, cofinite topology, right? It's a cofinite topology, and they are giving the sequence, and they are asking about the convergence. We have a result in a cofinite topology. Every sequence convergence to every element, right? Therefore, this 1/n sequence is convergence to all the elements of R, right? So what are the options? So what is the answer actually? Option C. Okay, right. Okay. So next one. Now T1 is a co-countable topology and T2 is a co-finite topology. So they are giving the 4 options and you have to select the correct one. So you know that in a co-countable topology, the only convergent sequence are eventually constant, but here this is not eventually constant. So 1/n. So 1/n is not convergent sequence in T1, but they are giving that it's convergence to 0. So it's a wrong answer. The second one in T2. In T2 means cofinite topology, right? In cofinite topology, every sequence is convergent. So we can assume that 1/n is convergence to 0. So it's the correct answer. So the second one is correct one. And the third one in T1, there is no sequence of rational numbers which convergence to √3. You know that in a T1 only constant sequence are convergent, but they are asking the rational numbers convergence to irrational numbers. So we cannot using the constant sequence. So there is no such a sequence. So it is a correct statement, I think, right? So 2-1, sorry, third one is correct answer. What about the previous one? We are choosing the, what are the correct options here? Second answer. We discussed with that one.
Yes, sir. Second, third.
Second and third, right?
Third.
So what about fourth one? So T2 cofinite topology. In a cofinite topology, every sequence is convergence to every element, but they are told that no sequence is convergence to root 3. So it is a wrong statement. So the answer is 2 and 3. So the option is B, right? Okay. Next, we are going to see the basis for a topology. So already we are comparing the topology with the metric space, right? So in a metric space, we will form a open ball. From that open ball, we'll form the open sets. That collection is a topology, right? Okay. So we are going to give the name to this one as a basis, right? Basis is a collection of all open balls. Anyway, in a metric space, this is a particular case, but we want to define this one, right? So basis for a topology, script B. A script B is called the collection of the collection of subsets of X is called the basis for a topology if it satisfies the two conditions. The first condition is for every element X belongs to capital X, we have to find out an element B belongs to script B such that X belongs to B, right? The second condition is for every pair of elements of script B, B1, B2 belongs to script B, and every X belongs to the intersection of B1, B2, we have to find out an element B3 which belongs to script B such that B3 must contain an element X and it must be contained in B1 intersection B2, right? If the script B, the collection satisfies these two conditions, then the script B is called a basis for a topology, right? So now we want to see the example for the basis, right? So I'm going to take an example from the metric space. You know that when d of x comma y is equal to modulus of x minus y in r power 2, right? This metric space is called a usual metric, right? This is called the usual metric. For this one, the open ball will be, what is the open ball? Open ball is nothing but a circle with the center x and radius epsilon, right? So I'm going to collect this one. That means collection of all circular region, right? Circular region in R power 2 is a basis, because just look at the in R power 2 in a plane, for every element we can form a circle containing that one. That is the first condition. For a second condition, for any two circular region and any element which belongs to the intersection, we can form a circle which is contained in the intersection of that two circles, right? So this circular regions satisfies the basis condition. So the collection of all circular region form a basis. Okay, so from this basis we can form a topology. Okay, so I already told that this collection is nothing but an open ball. So from the open ball we will form a topology that is called, this metric is called the usual metric. So from the usual metric we form the topology. Therefore this topology is called the usual topology or standard topology, right? Okay, so if you collect the circular region and if you generate the topology, that topology is called usual topology or standard topology, right? Now we are going to see that how to generate a topology from the basis, right? Okay, now we have a collection and we check that whether it satisfies the two condition or not. If it satisfies the two condition, we will call it as a basis. Now we are going to generate a topology from this basis, right? So now from the basis, I'm going to generate a topology like that. If you want to say that U belongs to tau, then it must satisfies the condition that for every x belongs to U, there exists an element B belongs to script B such that x belongs to B and B is a subset of U, right? If this U is satisfying these conditions, then we can say that U is open. That means U belongs to tau. In this way, we can form a tau. That is, we can generate a topology. You know that it's a very similar way of generating an open set in the metric space, right? So in the metric space also, you know that a set is open if for every x belongs to U, there exists an open ball V of x comma r such that P of x comma r is a subset of U, right? The same way we are defining this one. So we can realize that basis is nothing but a collection of all open balls, right? Okay, in a metrizable topology. Okay, right. Okay, now in this way we can generate a topology, and we have one more theorem is there. So it is a that theorem says the easiest way to form a topology, right? Okay, there is a theorem that says that if you want to generate a topology from the basis, right, you can easily form a topology such that it's a collection of all possible union of basis elements, right? So in you are going to take an arbitrary elements and you are going to take a union, right? So you are going to take all possible unions of elements of B, and this collection is called tau. This is another way of generating a topology from the basis. Okay, so there are two ways to generate a topology from the basis, right? Okay, now already I told that circular region is a basis. Okay, circular region, set of collection of all circular regions in the plane is a basis. Is the first example. The second example is collection of all rectangular region. Collection of all rectangular region is also a basis in R power 2, right? You can easily check the basis condition. That is, for every x belongs to R power 2, we can form a rectangle around that one, right? For every pair of a rectangle and every elements which is belongs to the intersection of that two, we can form a one more rectangle which is entirely contained in that intersection. Okay, so rectangular region satisfies the two condition of the basis. Okay, therefore the collection of all rectangular regions are form a basis. Using this basis we can form a topology. In later we are going to show that this topology is nothing but a usual topology. That is these two different bases generate the same usual topology. We will prove it later. Okay, the last example in the basis is collection of all singleton x. is a basis, right? Obviously, for every x belongs to R, another singleton x is contained that x, the first condition is satisfied, and you want to take a two collection that is singleton x and singleton y, but if their intersection has an empty element, so vacuously second condition is true, right? Therefore, it's form a basis, right? And using this basis, we can generate a topology. That topology is nothing but a discrete topology, right? You can realize this one by using this theorem, right? That means you are going to generate a topology by taking the collection of all unions of the elements, right? Then you can obtain tau is equal to power set of x. Therefore, the P double dash generates the discrete topology. Okay, these are all the examples. Shall we stop the session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any
Participants,
doubts?
if any question, you can ask.
Sir, sir, hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, in functional analysis, we have studied this about like what you told that they generate a usual topology like circular regions and rectangular regions, right? We
Circular
have
region
and rectangular regions because they have the same like through the norm. We studied through the norms actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, sir, like in when we talk about in topological spaces, two topological spaces are same when we like homomorphic. When we like basis open set, we can deform it to other way. Like we can see that we can deform the circle to the rectangle and rectangle to the circle continuously and very one way, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to find out
okay.
the like relation homomorphically or geometrically when we do like here when we say they generate the same topological space, usual topology over R2. So that means that we can deform the circle to the rectangle and we can deform the rectangle to the circle in a very continuous way, right?
Yeah, right. Actually, so you need some homeomorphic explanation, right?
Yeah, that I want. Yes.
Yeah, okay. But now here we are going to say both are same by using the comparison, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
The
You are going to
final
prove that topology generated by B is contained in topology generated by B dash.
Yeah, but you are expecting that using the homeomorphism, right?
Yes, sir, actually.
Yeah, okay. In
We
the next
can do
session,
that.
I will. I will tell in the next class. Okay.
Yeah.
We will see also in that way also, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, any other questions?
Do we talk about the denseness in the next class, or we like can we, because you have introduced the sequences, so I have some doubt regarding the denseness, if you could.
What doubts about?
Yes. Dense property here, because sequential denseness property, like in metric space, in metric spaces we define the sequence denseness through sequences also, right? Like if a set is dense.
So actually, can you text your doubts in WhatsApp?
Sure, I'll do that. Thank you so much.
Just text me your doubts. I will explain in the next class, right? Surely. I can't clearly hear your voice because I have no headphone.
Okay.
So that's why the problem is there. So surely I will give a explanation for all your questions, right?
Sure.
Just post your questions. I will explain all the things, right?
Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
I have one doubt. In the
Okay.
gate question related to that number of homomorphisms. Means we have to determine. We have given that x is a 3-point set or 4-point or 5-point. Then we have to determine the number of
Yeah.
topology
Number of
we can
topologies.
generate. Yes.
This
So
is
in that
NPHM.
example, yes. Sir, can so in that example, we consider topology phi x and a comma b. So for 3-point set, there are two options. One is phi x and singleton a, and you told that another one is phi x and singleton a comma b.
Yeah.
This set, but
Yeah.
but if I intersect x with AB, then
Okay.
intersection will be C. So, but C does not belongs to this set. So, how this becomes topology?
You are going to take an intersection of the two topology, right? First one
No,
and the
sir.
second one.
No, sir. Intersection. We know that from the definition of topology, finite intersection must be belong to that.
Tau, yeah.
Yes. So here, if I consider AB and X, then
X.
and here X
intersection is AB. Yeah.
And X is ABC, 3-point set.
Actually,
so if I
intersection in the set containing AB intersection X is equal to again the set AB, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I am confused here. Yes. Okay. Yes, I got it.
Okay.
So, one more doubt.
Yes.
In the last in the last example, you consider basis element, basis type, that singleton X. This is our basis. Yes. So you told something like that this generate discrete topology, some related to something like that. Can you repeat that again? I didn't hear in that time.
Okay, 1 minute. So now I'm going to explain this one. So can you see my board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So B double dash is equal to set of all singleton X where X belongs to R. So this is a basis, right? Now we are going to generate a topology tau. Okay. Now the generation method is you want to take the collection of all possible union of the basis element, right? Now you know that tau is always a subset of power set of X, right? We know this one. Now I'm going to prove that power set of X is a subset of tau. By this one we can attain the result tau is equal to power set of X. That means tau is a discrete topology. Okay, so I am going to prove this one, that is power set of X is a subset of tau. Okay, now I'm going to take an element from the left hand side, that is U belongs to power set of X. That implies U can be written as union of X belongs to U such that singleton X, right? U can be written like this one, that is a union of singleton X where X belongs to U. So U can be written like this one. So it is a what is a way of generating topology? You want to take the union of the elements of basis, right? Just look at that. Here we are taking union of the basis element. Therefore this is belongs to tau, right? Therefore U belongs to tau. So what you got? Power set of X is a subset of tau. So from these two results, we attain that tau is equal to power set of X, right? That means tau is a discrete topology. Can you understand this one?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
now I got it.
Any other doubts?
No other doubt, I think, sir.
Okay, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. We'll see in the next class, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. Thank you all.